Nate the Great goes in the dumps. I, Nate the Great, and my dog Sludge were taking a walk. We walked too far. We walked to Rosamond's house. Rosamond and her 4 cats were sitting on a crate behind the table in front of her house. There was a crystal ball on the table. There was a sign next to the crystal ball. I will read your future, Rosamond said. For 2 cents. My future is worth more than 2 cents, I said. 3 cents then, Rosamond said. She gazed into her crystal ball. You will have a new case to solve very soon. 3 cents. I noticed that we always have cases to solve, I said. Rosamond gazed into her crystal ball again. I can't tell you more, she said. Someone has a lost box, a money box, so have to look for it. A money box, I said. How much money isn't it? No money, Rosamond said. It's empty. Empty. Yes. It's my box. I was going to use it to hold the money I got for reading the future. Sludge was tugging at me to leave. He did not see any money in Rosamond's future. Don't go, Rosamond said. Listen to what happened. Claude helped me set up my businesses. We brought out the table. This sign, the box, and 4 cans of tuna fish for my cat. Cats want to know what's in their future too, like tuna fish. Of course, I said. I put the sign on the table, Rosamond said. I put the box on the grass near the table. I put the tuna fish cans in a neat pile near the box. What happened next? I asked. My cats and I went into my house to get my crystal ball, Rosamond said. Claude went into my garage to get this crate for my cat and me to sit on. Then I came back with my crystal ball to the crystal ball. The crate was here. The table and the sign and the tuna fish cans were still there, but the cans were tripped over. The box and Claude were gone. Then did this happen? I asked. Just before you came along, Rosamond said. You are my first customer for reading the future. Now you have a new case and we made 3 cents. I don't have 3 cents, I said. And you don't have a box to put in. I will if you solve the case, Rosamond said. This is a very famous box. This the first box that my cat Super Hacks ever slept in. Rosamond gave me a strange look. It was the only kind of look she had. Very well, I said. I will take your case. Does your famous box have a cover? Does it have a color? What size is it? It's a white box with Rosamond printed on one side of it. Rosamond said, it didn't have a cover. It's big enough to hold $100 in pennies. How big is that? I asked. Rosamond pointed to her house. The box is smaller than my house, smaller than my garage, smaller than this crate, smaller than... Never mind, I said. Rosamond shrugged. I read the future. Don't measure boxes. I put out my notebook and tore off a piece of paper. I wrote a note to my mother. Rosamond grabbed my note. I will deliver this while you solve my case. Rosamond walked off with her four cats, Sludge, and I sat down on the crate. The crate had a label on it. Bananas. Maybe the box is still here somewhere, I said. Sludge and I peered under the table. The box wasn't there. Suddenly, we saw legs. 6 legs. 2 belonged to Annie and 4 belonged to her dog Fang. Can you read my future? Annie asked. No, but I can read Fang's future. I need to grade predicts that predicts that someday Fang is going to bite Sludge and me. Today could be the day. Sludge and I rushed off. I called back to Annie. Have you seen an empty box with Rosamond's name on it? And big enough to hold $100 in pennies. No, Annie shouted. We have to look for Claude. I said to Claude, looking for Claude. I said to Sludge, looking for Claude. Would be harder than looking for the box. Claude was always getting lost. We went to Claude's house. I rang his doorbell. I knocked on his door. I peeked through his windows. Somebody tapped me on the shoulder. It was Claude. Are you looking for me? He asked. I was lost, but I found myself. Good work, I said. I am looking for Rosamond's box. I think you saw it lost. I saw in the grass before I went to her garage to get her crate, Claude said. Carrying that crate was hard work. It kept bumping into my stomach. I put it down on the grass by the table, just where Rosamond wanted it. All the time I kept watching for Rosamond. I hoped she wouldn't come before I could get away. Get away? Yes, I tried off being Rosamond moving man. After I put the crate down, I started to run. Then what? I tripped over a pile of tuna fish cans, Clutch said. I fell down on the grass, but Box wasn't there. I could have seen it. That explains why the pile of cans was tripped over, I said, but it doesn't explain where the box went. I need to say that somebody must have taken it while you were in the garage, and Rosamond and her cats were in her house. But who would want an empty box with Rosamond's name on it? Clutch shrugged. Somebody extremely desperate for a box, I said. Sludge and I rushed to Finley's house. Finley owns a rat. The rat sleeps in a big box until he chews it up. Then Finley get a new box. Maybe it was time for a new box for Finley's rat. Maybe Finley took Rosamond's box. I saw Finley outside with his rat. Where was a big chewed up box beside the rat with rat house printed on it. I am looking for an empty box big enough to hold $100 in pennies, I said. It belongs to Rosamond. My box belongs to my rat, Finley said, but there are plenty of boxes at the supermarket. They have the best ones. If you can't find Rosamond's box there, go to the dump. They have the worst ones. I will look for the best, I said. And the Great do not like dumps. Sludge and I went to the supermarket. Sludge had to wait outside. I went inside. I looked for empty boxes. I saw open boxes and sacks full of oranges and potatoes. I saw open crates full of tomatoes and bananas and carrots. I saw labels on the boxes and crates. I remembered that Rosamond's crate had a label bananas on it. She probably got her crate at this supermarket, but that was no help. An Instagram did not need a crate that said bananas, or a box that said oranges, or I need a box that said Rosamond. Suddenly I smelled something. Pancakes. A lady was handing out pancake samples. I took one. Then I circled around and took another. The third time around she said, "No more." I left the supermarket. I needed more pancakes. Sludge needed a bone. We went home. We ate and thought. I keep thinking about the empty box. There was something else empty too. My hat. Was I missing a big clue? I thought back. an empty box, a table, a sign, 4 cans of tuna fish. Rosamond saw all these things before she and her cat went into her house. Sludge saw them before he went into Rosamond's grave. Then the empty box was gone, only the empty box. Why? Perhaps the table was too heavy to take, and no one would take a sign that said Rosamond reads the featured 2 cents. But why not take the cans of tuna fish? Why take an empty box? That isn't worth anything. Ernest Gray suddenly had the answer. Because the box isn't worth anything. Someone must have seen the empty box and pick it up and thrown it away, but it had Rosamond's name on it, just on one side. Maybe her name wasn't seen. Rosamond's box has probably gone to the dump by now, I said to Sludge. There was worst box go. Sludge and I hurried to the town dump. There were mountains of stuff there. Old, ripped, ragged, broken, disgusting things. Things that nobody wanted. I did not want them either. We are down in the dumps, I said to Sludge. But then on top of one mountain of junk, I saw something. A box was sticking out, and I could see a R printed one side on it. At last, it must be Rosamond's box. We have to climb up the mountain of junk, I said. Sludge looked at me. He did not want to do it. I did not want to do it, but we did. Up we climbed. Over lumpy mattresses and broken furniture and old shoes and ugly clothes. At last we were at the top of the heap. I grabbed the empty box. Now I could read the whole name on it. Red House. It was not Rosamond's box. It was a chewed-up box that had once been a home for Phyllis Rat. I was mad. I was tired. Sludge was tired. We sat down. I put my arm around Sludge, and we sat there on top of the world of junk. I looked down. Down was way down. I was afraid to stay and afraid to leave. But we have to leave. Let's go, I said. Sludge and I started to climb down. Sludge was scared. Don't look down, I said. Sludge kept his eyes up. Then I stopped. That was it, the answer to my case. I had given myself the clue I needed. I have just solved the case, I said. We must go back to Rosamond's house. I grabbed a lumpy mattress. Sludge and I slid off the rest of the way down on the mattress. We brushed ourselves off. Then we rushed to Rosamond's house. She was sitting on the crate with her cat, waiting for business. "I delivered your note," she said. "Did you find my box?" "Yes," I said. "So where is it?" she asked. "You are sitting on it," I said. "I'm sitting on a crate, not a box," she said. Rosamond and her cat stood up. "See?" I leaned down and picked up the crate, and there under it was Rosamond's box. "My box," Rosamond said. "It was inside my crate." "Yes," Claude put the crate down the box, but he didn't know it. Rosamond picked up her box. "Why didn't he know it?" she asked. "Claude told me he was carrying the crate near his stomach," I said. "And he was looking for you at the same time. That means he was looking above the crate. But what was happening below? Claude did not know. Claude did not look down. Claude did not look down. When he put the crate over the box. Then he started to run. He fell. He kicked over the cat. And that's when he noticed that the box wasn't there. After he had made it disappear. That's the last time I'll ask Claude to help me," Rosamond said. "Claude will be glad to hear that," I said. Rosamond hugged her box. "But how did you figure this out?" "There were many clues," I said, "but I didn't know it. You told me that your box was smaller than your crate. That was a clue." Rosamond was squeezing her box. "Tell me more clues," she said. "I saw crates in the supermarket," I said. "I figured you got your bananas crates there." "I bought lots of bananas at the supermarket," Rosamond said, "until the banana crate was empty. Then they gave it to me." A night steward noticed that all the crates at this supermarket had open top. That meant that your crate must have an open top, but you keep your crate upside down to sit on. The open top was at the bottom, and it fit right over your box to hide it. Rosamond was excited. She was crushing her famous box. I had done all my hard work for a crushed box, but my work was over, I said. I solved the case when Sludge and I were at the dump, and I told him not notice to look down. That looking down was the key clue. "You went the dump for me," Rosamond exclaimed. "I must do something for you. I read your future." 2 times for free. 3 times, 10 times, I will give you as many features as you want. I can read my own future, I said. I gazed into the crystal ball. I see a detective and his dog, I said. They are going to disappear. And that's what Sludge and I did.